having covered one use of the VT graph, that is to find out the acceleration. Now we'll go over to the other one, that is VT graph and displacement and distance traveled. Okay. So now we will learn using a VT graph first and displacement and distance traveled. Both are same methods actually, very simple. Okay. Let's start with a simple example. Right? This example itself will serve as an idea on how to do this. Suppose some object is moving, let's say, towards the right hand side on the number line, for example. Right? Okay, and the initial position of the object is here. And now the object will move in this direction, and let's say it reaches here. And then the final. And let's say it covers or it has a displacement always of 40 meter in 1 second. So what I mean to say is in 1 second it gets displaced by how much? 40 meter. Assuming it remains like that. Then from here after 1 second it will go there. Then after 1 more second it will go there. After 1 more second it will go there. Yes or no?
Yes.
Of course it's moving continuously. We are just taking photographs after 1 second each. So we see it here, we see it here, we see it here, here, and so on. So if I would say its velocity, for example, it will be 40 meter per second. Why 40 meter per second? We are saying that it is moving 40 meter in 1 second. It is not because distance traveled is 40 meter. Is that okay? Is that clear? Because distance traveled has nothing to do with velocity. Yes or no? Even average velocity is what? What's average velocity? What is average? No, what is not enough with you? What is with you? What is average velocity? By delta. That is displacement divided by time. So what is distance traveled is not our concern. What is concerned or what is important is displacement. So we are saying that it is having a displacement of 40 meter, 40 meter, 40 meter every 1 second. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? And we are obviously assuming simple cases. So that's why you might say distance traveled is same as displacement because if it's traveling in a straight line. But in general, all that is not required. Anyway, so suppose the velocity is uniform. Uniform, that is always remains the same. So this is 0. After 1 second also it's 40, after 2 seconds also it's 40, after 3 seconds also it's 40, and after 4 seconds also it is 40. This is called uniform velocity. Yes or no?
Yes.
Such motion is called
Uniform motion.
uniform motion. Uniform motion is that motion where the velocity remains constant. Okay, fine, clear so far? After 1 second 40, every time it's 41. There, if someone would ask you that in 4 seconds, how much would be the displacement of this object? Let's say this is initial, it starts over here, and it is getting displaced by 40 meter in 1 second. Then how much would be its displacement in 4 seconds?
160.
160 meter.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Left side or right side?
Right
Right side, because I am considering velocity as positive. So right now, as usual, most of the time we need right side as positive. So this would move 40, 40, 40, 40 like that. 160 meter towards the right hand. Is that okay?
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
Great. So you all say that displacement is 160. Now, have a look at this. If I will mark out the area between 0 and 4, because we are talking about 4 seconds. If I will mark out the area between 0 and 4. This graph, this is the graph. Which graph is it?
VT
VT.
graph.
And here is the axis. And the axis is horizontal.
Yes,
Time
sir.
axis. Right? Okay. Then you see we are getting a rectangle which is covered by this line, this axis, and this graph. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What shape is that?
Rectangle.
Rectangle. Can you find area of this rectangle? Raise your hand when you are done. Can you find area of this rectangle? Area of rectangle तो बताना होगा. Yes, Amma.
Length into breadth.
Length into breadth. So how much would this be? How much is the length? How much is the breadth?
4 into 40.
4 into 40. Raise your hand if you understood. Very well done. Sit down. So this is not a coincidence. Okay, it's not by chance that these numbers have been saved. No, it's not like that. It is always true. Okay, so let's write down the sentence. Okay, first of all, I'll write down a couple of sentences, then we'll proceed with the explanation further. So, number 1, area between VT graph and time axis. Time axis is which axis? Horizontal axis, right?
Yes.
Okay, time axis is horizontal. Area between VT graph and the horizontal axis. That is what gives you displacement. Okay, that is what gives you. Like, have a look here. This is graph. This is the axis, and this area is sandwiched between them. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. But yes, up to what limit or up to what boundary from 0 to 4? Because we wanted to find out how much is the displacement in 4 seconds. Did you understand?
Yes.
Why we took 0 and 4? Because we wanted to find out the displacement in 4 seconds. 0 to 4 seconds. Alright? Yeah. But there is something to add here in bracket. Area above axis is taken as positive, or you can say area above axis, instead of this whole thing you can just write is added. Okay, and area below axis is taken as negative. Okay, or you can write is subtracted. Okay, you have choice on what you can write. But the same one thing. So area above the axis is taken as positive, area below the axis is taken as negative. Right. Now the second. Area between VT graph and time axis. Same sentence, but a different answer. That's the magic of physics. Area between VT graph and time axis is
Distance travel.
But then what's the difference here? They seem to know, I'm sure. That's what I have been ramming you since the start of this chapter. That displacement and distance travel are two different things. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Now, what's the rule? Here, all areas are taken as positive. Or basically, you can say all areas are added. There is no point of subtraction. Okay, there is no point of subtraction. You just have to add. So these brackets are what makes the two different. I hope you realize. बाकी में एक अच्छे, they are same. But because of considering positive and negative, displacement becomes different from distance travel. Why is it like that? fairly simple to understand. Do you remember displacement is a vector?
Yes.
So for example, if I would, let's say shift or displace by 3 meters towards your right side, so that is plus 3. But then if I go 2 meters towards that side, so now my displacement is only 1, plus 3 and minus 2. Did you understand?
Yes.
But my distance traveled would be plus 3 plus 2.
Fine.
That's the difference. I hope you saw that. Okay, so basically when the graph goes below the axis, velocity will become negative. Clear or not clear? When the graph goes below the axis, the velocity becomes negative. Understood?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. So that's the reason why here we have to subtract it or you have to take it as negative, and in distance traveled direction doesn't matter. બધું add. Okay. Did you write these sentences? They are extremely important. આ લખવાના આવે જેને લખવાનો આવે. બધું લખવાનું. Don't draw the graph. There is no need. I have realized that some of you still have not understood what you need to write and what you don't need to write. So from here on I will make it very clear that you have to write. Okay. यहाँ पर हम start करी दो नहीं बदल अपना. Got it? Then there will be no question. Clear or not clear? Okay. So all this is to be written. But એમ લોકો દસવાર આમાં તમે start ન કર્યો. આજ mean છે. Okay, what to do and what not to do. બાકી આવું તો બધા યાદ રાખી લેશે. પછી ક્યાં પ્લસ મૂકવાનું ક્યાં માઈનસ એવા જ ઓપ્શન આપ્યા છે. You will tick the other one. Right? So be careful. Alright. So let's see what would happen if the area would be below the axis. Let's take an example of this one instead. Suppose I'm plus 40 now. Let's say. Instead of that, suppose it was minus 40. So velocity is negative, and in 4 seconds, the graph would reach till here. So now this is a rectangle again, yes or no?
Yes.
Right? So this is 40 and this is 4. So the area of rectangle would be 160.
Minus
Area
1.
which is negative. Area is 160 feet. Is that clear or not clear?
Yes.
Area of this part is 160. Now the question is, are you finding displacement or distance traveled? If you are finding displacement, that is delta, then it will be minus 160. Is that clear?
Yes.
That's what the sentence was. Consider area below the axis as negative. Clear or not clear?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. And if you are finding distance traveled, then that would be plus 160 meters. Because see, think about it. Here was the object. Now its velocity is positive or negative? Negative. It means it is moving towards which side? Left or right?
Left.
So it will continuously move towards this side. Did you understand?
Yes.
So it's that after 4 seconds it might be somewhere over here. You see the displacement is negative. I hope you see that.
Yes.
From initial to final. Got it?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Displacement is negative. That's what we are saying. But the distance traveled would still be positive.
Positive.
Understood? Sure.
Yes.
Fine. Now, a little bit of basics. You see, we have not proven these sentences. I just wrote it. I told you that just like it works here, it will work every time. That's true. It will work every time. But the proper mathematical proof can be given. But it uses some more mathematical skills. Okay? So I'll not cover it right now over here in the middle of the chapter. It's not extremely necessary. Okay? If you want to understand everything, you can still understand just by remembering this. Okay, but how we get it, the maths part will cover it near the end of the chapter, right? And we will have to cover it. We cannot go to the next chapter without covering the basics of that mathematical idea, right? It is called integration. Differentiation. E will twin. Okay. Differentiation and integration are twins. They got a movie. Yes or no?
Yes.
But differentiation, if it is good, then integration is equal and opposite. Alright? Okay, then it would be the evil. Depending on which side you are, one is evil and one is good. Badi formula very kundi. Ani just like it's similar to the difference between taking a square and a square root. Square and square root are opposites of each other. Correct or not? They cancel each other when both meet each other. Right? But you'll have to understand that for proving all this. Okay. Now, let's solve a question or two based on this idea. Okay. So suppose this is a velocity time graph. Okay. You can start drawing it if you want. This is a velocity time graph of some object, okay, that we are seeing here, right? This is a horizontal line, this is a straight line, this is a straight. Now, so by referring to this graph, we have to answer following question. Number one, when is object at rest? Number two, what the displacement of object in first 7 seconds. Same question, but distance traveled. What is the distance traveled by the object in first 7 seconds? Number 4. How much distance does the object cover in retardation? Alright, that's it. Let's begin. So first question, raise your hand for the answer. Very straightforward question. When is the object at rest? I hope everyone has written this and this in their graphs. One student is fully diagnosed on the answer. Okay, so first question. When is the object at rest? Very good. Okay. Yes, Nandini? Louder. 4 what? 4 kg. Nice. So 4
Second.
at 4 seconds, the object is at rest. How did you come to know? What did you see? What can you tell us? What is meaning of rest? What's meaning of rest? Come on. Velocity is constant. That's what rest. Very sure. Okay. Okay, open question. Who wants to answer? What is meaning of rest? What is the meaning of rest? Okay. Yes, mantra. Yes, that is. यार आप બધું તમે જે નાના છોકરાઓ છે આન્સર કેમ આપો છો? When there is no motion need. Speak in terms of physical quantities. હા પહેલે. Yes, me. Acceleration is 0. Are you sure? Nandini. When velocity is 0. Correct. When velocity is 0, motion is not occurring. So your answer is not wrong, but we should always try to give answers in form of physical quantity. Like instead of saying, Sir, Jupiter, the ball is here. And I'm going to say, Sir, Jupiter is at this distance. See, this quantity. Very good. Okay, instead of saying, Sir, I'm tired. Okay, you could say, Sir, I have spent this many joule energy in running. Okay or not okay?
Yes.
Sit up, fella. Read the sentences. Sit down. So, when is the object at rest? When the velocity is 0. So, when is the velocity 0?
4 seconds.
4 seconds. So, first answer is done. Clear? Next time you want to love it. Second one. What is the displacement of the object in first 7 seconds? How to find it? How to find it? Which graph is this? VT graph. From VT graph, how can we find displacement? No way to find displacement from VT graph? Or is there a way? Is there a way? Who knows the way? Who knows the way? Answer nahi putta tumne. You said there is a way. Then what's the way? You tell me. You show me the way. Which formula? Formula to હતી. L into B કરવાનું. આમાં ક્યાં rectangle? પટુ. કે આ એટલું જ કરવાનું. Sit up. Did you write those two sentences, my friend? I hope you did. Everyone, I hope you did. Bachcho lekhu tu વાંચો. Area between VT graph and time axis shows you or gives you a displacement and also distance traveled, whichever you want to find. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Sure?
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, where is the graph? આ graph કહેવાય. કોની graph? આ graph કહેવાય. Where is the graph? This is the graph.
Yes.
This is the graph.
Yes.
This is the graph.
Yes.
Area between graph and axis. Axis क्या है? आधे? Horizontal axis. Yes or no? So first of all, which area do we have to find? You realize we have to find the area of this whole shape.
Yes.
Okay, but you see, it can be divided into two easy shapes. Yes or no? One is a rectangle. Let's call it A1. Do you see the rectangle, everyone?
Yes.
Till here. Then do you see the triangle?
Yes.
Okay, but that is only up to 4 seconds. We have to find up to first 7 seconds means 0 to 7. Yes or no?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
So, hજી બીજો કયો?
4 to 7.
4 to 7. I.
No.
Right? Not there? Which one? So, એને વર્ડમાં શું કહેવાય? Area between graph and is that okay or not okay?
Yes, sir.
So we have 3 areas to find. Okay, so if you want to find it all the way from 0 to 7, you'll have to take the total. Yes or no?
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
Okay, let's start. So answer to number 2 is delta x will be, what should I write? A1 positive or negative?
Positive.
A2 positive or negative?
Positive.
A3 positive or negative?
Negative.
Is this clear?
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
Everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Who will tell me area of A1? Raise your hand. હવે આમાં બધું rapid fire થઈ જશે. Yes, પ્રગતિ. 32. Area of first one 2. This rectangle. Are you sure? Dia. एक मिनट. 40. Correct. Into bread. Okay or not okay?
Yes, sir.
40 देगी. Sit down. Next time फटाफट आवड़ी जाओ जो है. Alright. Second one. Who can tell me area of A2? The second one. This is a triangle. Focus on the triangle. How do you find area of triangle? Formula નથી પૂછતો મને આનો એરિયા કહી દો ડાયરેક્ટ. How do you find area of triangle? Jennifer.
20.
20. How do you get there? Louder. 20 is right. How do you get there? Time multiplied by this. 2 into 24. 40 then. Isn't it 40?
2 into 40 and divided by 2.
Why divided by 2?
It's right.
It's a triangle. That's why divided by 2. Area of triangle is half into base into altitude or height. Yes. Half into base into height or half into base into altitude. Yes or no?
Yes.
Sure. So what's the base? A triangle. What's the base of this triangle?
2.
Is that okay? 4 minus 2. 4 nahi? 2. Clear?
Yes.
So base is 2. Okay. Half into 2 into what's the altitude?
20.
Oh. So finally, is it okay or not okay?
Yes.
Sit down. Well done. Connect. 20. You know why it's like that? Go to geometry samjha. Actually, if you complete a rectangle, but you know half there. You see that?
Yes.
That's why this half is there. Okay. Anyways, we go to the another there out. Plus 20. Clear? Clear or not clear?
Yes, sir.
Now third one. A3. Who can tell me area of this third one? Fine. It's got same much shape. Don't worry about anything. Just look at this triangle. Base altitude. Then multiply them and get the answer. Sama.
15.
1 5.
Yes.
B. What's your answer? 15. Raghu. 15. 15. Everyone's answer is 15.
Yes.
Sit down. That's it. Half base. Base is 3.
3.
Okay, and height is 10. So half into base is 3 and height is 10. So that's going to be 15. Yes, correct. 15 meters. Clear?
Yes.
So minus 50. So how much is the displacement? 45 meters. Okay, very quickly find out the third one. Hurry up. Done. Are at least one again. Two one target thing. Possible. What's the answer? Raise your hand. 10 milli. 40. Who agrees? Sama, what's your answer?
45.
Who agrees? 45. Base same as your distance and displacement?
Yes. Yes.
Same as your just 900. Dia?
Sir, 75.
75. Who agrees? Why is it 75?
Sir, because this distance traveled will be added. It's not subtracted. We
Okay.
have to find the total distance traveled.
Yes.
So
So you
we
mean to say that I should write E1
plus A2
plus A2 plus A3. Yes or no?
Yes.
So that is going to be 40 plus 20 plus 15 is going to be 75. Sit up. Well done. Clear?
Yes.
बुद्धि वाला sentence is कमाई से sentence वाचो. चलो चलो जल्दी. Read the sentence. What's that? मेरू के नाम मेरू. So you know every question, every kind of question that you might ever have in your mind, I have already answered in those sentences. Because let me tell you, these sentences have come from the questions of so many students over all these years. Right? Every time someone asks a question and they are confused, and I see there are a few more people also who are similarly confused, then I make it an important sentence. That means next batch will have to remember it. Okay or not okay? એટલે જેમ જેમ આગળ જતા જશે સેન્ટેન્સીસ વધતા જશે ના સ્ટુડન્ટ ઓછા થતા જશે રાઈટ હવે આનાથી વધુ ન આવે પછી તો બહુ ટફ થઈ જાય ઓકે Is this clear or not? Yes. Sure, everyone understood how we are adding here? Yes. Okay, no confusion? Okay. Right, fourth one. How much distance does the object cover in retardation? So what do we have to find? Displacement or distance traveled? Read this carefully. What do we have to find? Do we have to find displacement or distance traveled? Acceleration find out. We have to find distance traveled. Yes or no? Yes. But we have to find that distance traveled only during that time while the object is having retardation. What is meaning of retardation? Raise your hand. What is meaning of retardation? I am not asking you when does retardation occur. I am asking you what is meaning.
Velocity and acceleration are opposite.
No. That is not meaning of retardation. Yes, if whenever some object has decrease in speed, then that is called retardation. And when does retardation occur? That's what her answer is. When velocity and acceleration are in opposite directions, then retardation will occur. Is that okay? That is, speed will decrease. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Sit down. Now, first thing is to find how much distance is traveled. Based on this graph, first of all, we should identify where or when is retardation going on. Is 0 to 2 retardation? Is 0 to 4 retardation? Is 2 to 4 retardation? Or is 2 to 7 retardation? Where is retardation?
2 to 7.
That's what we have to figure out. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so to understand when retardation occurs, it's that we have to use the sentence that Hiran said. That is, velocity and acceleration should be in opposite direction. Yes or no?
Yes.
One is positive, the other should be negative. Very good. Next, to identify. So, who can tell me where is retardation going on in all these times? 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 0 to 4, 0 to 7. Where? According to the graph. Yes, it means
4 seconds to 7.
4 seconds to 7 seconds. Who agrees with her? Okay, some of you did raise hand earlier. તમને કેમ બીજાનો સપોર્ટ જોઈએ? Why don't you raise your hand on your own? Okay, okay, તો તમે માનો કે ના અમારો સાચો છે. Okay, anyone has any other answer? She says 4 to 7. Anyone has any other answer? Yes, I'm over there.
2 to 7.
Louder.
2 to 7.
2 to 7. Who agrees with that? Real, didn't you agree with both of them?
No.
Sure? Okay, Raghav, what's your answer? 2 to 7. You also 2 to 7? Alright, sit down. Sit down, everyone. Any other answers? So, bija bada?
2
Bada 2 to 7. Who says 2 to 7? Who says 4 to 7? Kya jata yaar? And where are others? Kya ho gaya samajh na padi. You see, listen to this, everyone. This question is a good opportunity to make one thing clear to you. 10 સુધી કેવા સમ થાઉઝન્ડ ખબર છે તમને? Radius is given, find area. હવે circumference is given, find area. બે એક જ question છે, if you realize. But the problem is, first from C's value you'll have to find R, and then from R you have to find A. Yes or no?
Yes.
There is one step added in between. That is, there are indirect relations between things. Here we have a similar problem. Ahmad, ask question जो 9 में पूछा था. तो यहाँ अब how much distance is covered retardation की जगह यहाँ सीधा time आप दिख रहा है. Dash to dash. That's the difference between 9th standard and 11th standard. So first of all, we have to figure out where is retardation. Okay. Probably you all know the sentences. She said it loud. Who can repeat what Hiral said? When do you have retardation? એના સિવાય જે લોકો અત્યારે હાથ ઉપર કરે એના સિવાય બધાનો આન્સર ખોટો. Because if you don't know how to identify retardation, તમે આ ક્વેશ્ચન ક્યાંથી સોલ્વ કરો? કરી શકો? Think about it. if you don't know how to identify retardation, yes, Ariba, what's the way to identify retardation? When do we have retardation?
When velocity vector and acceleration vector the
Are
side
in-
both are in opposite direction, then
Okay, yeah, fine, that's enough. When velocity and acceleration both are vectors, of course, they are in
opposite
opposite
direction.
direction. That's the first. So I told you that one should be positive, one should be negative. Right. Here, velocity we can easily see from the graph whether it's positive or negative. But how to check about acceleration? જો આ ક્વેશ્ચન પેલો ડીપ જાય છે. આ તો એક જ લાઈન હતી. વચ્ચે આર ફાઇન્ડ કરો એટલે આન્સર આવી જાય. હવે આમાં પહેલા તો રિટાર્ડેશન શું છે? પછી રિટાર્ડેશન ક્યાં છે? હવે ઈ ફાઇન્ડ કરવા માટે એક્સેલરેશન કેવી આવશે? Is acceleration given in question? No. Directly not given. Is there a way to find the sign of acceleration?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Who said yes? Okay, yes, Hiral.
Acceleration vector is equal to delta v vector upon delta t.
Miss the target. તારીખ પર આવવાનું હતું acceleration equal to delta v upon delta t કે લખાવું ફોર્મ્યુલા acceleration is delta v upon delta t.
Delta v vector upon delta t.
Still wrong.
dv vector upon dt.
Acceleration is dv vector upon dt. But to be very frank, Hiral, what you were trying to say, or even the correct formula that she said, has no relation with this thing. It is a right formula, but it's like you are trying to open a lock with a needle. Okay, wrong tool. Did you understand? The correct tool is something else. Sit down. This is which graph?
VT
How to
graph.
find acceleration from VT graph?
Slope of tangent.
Slope of tangent. બરાબર ને બધે tangent draw. Here, if you draw a tangent, then it will be horizontal. Yes or no?
Yes.
The slope will be
Zero.
acceleration will be
Zero.
Zero. So અહીંયા તો નહીં જ આવે.
No.
Okay, let's go to somewhere here. Now, if you draw a tangent here, આમાં જ આવશે tangent. Yes or no?
Negative.
Clear or not clear?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, then acceleration will be
Negative.
positive or negative?
Negative.
Sure.
Yes.
And here we see acceleration is negative. Okay. Fine. Here, in this part of the graph, velocity is positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
It's close to 10. Yes or no? So
Yes.
velocity positive. Acceleration
Negative.
Retardation or not retardation?
Retardation.
Retardation.
Yes.
Sure. So we are clear that in 2 to 4 it will be retardation. Clear or not?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, આગળ જાઓ. 4 to 7. Okay. So 4 to 7. Try to draw a tangent. આમાં જ આવશે. Okay. Acceleration.
Negative.
Acceleration negative.
Negative.
Very good. Acceleration negative. ચલો પછી velocity
Negative.
negative. Velocity negative. Acceleration also
Negative.
Retardation or not
No.
retardation?
No.
Not retardation.
No.
So where is retardation?
2 to 4.
Where? ફિઝિક્સ ની આજ મજા છે બધું સામે છે તોય તમને ખબર પડે નહીં રાઈટ okay so that's what I always tell everyone solving physics is like solving puzzles right everything has been provided to you તમારી પાસે હું તમને કહું ને લો આ નોટબુક લો હવે ફિઝિક્સ ની એક્ઝામ આપીને દેખાડો then also you would be struggling because it's not about the formulas or anything but how to relate all of them it's all about how to relate આ તો બહુ ફ્રેન્કલી કહું છું ઘણી બધી આપણે ઇન્ડિયામાં નહીં બીજી યુનિવર્સિટીઝમાં કોલેજમાં કેવું હોય they have open book exams એટલે પેપરની પાછળ બધી ફોર્મ્યુલા આપી દીધી હોય જો કરો જે કરવું હોય કરો પેપરની પાછળ બધી ફોર્મ્યુલા આપી દીધી પછી સોલ્વ કરો એ ક્વેશ્ચન ક્યાં પૂછતા હતા think about it where of course you have to use the formulas but understanding is the biggest thing in fact remembering formulas is only the first step the next step would be to understand those sentences and try to remember જેમ sentences યાદ રહેવા મળશે ને without think about it. Haven't we written all of this?
Yes.
For a VT graph, how do you find acceleration? Slope of time. Okay, you?
Yes.
Okay, then when is retardation? When velocity and acceleration are opposite. So your opposite there, yes. So that's retardation. See, everything that you need is already in your notebook. But the only thing is you should be able to connect the dots. Okay, right? English. Connect the dots. Right? Well then. So we have to find in the fourth one. What do we have to find? The distance traveled between which time and which time? Between which time and which time? 2 seconds to 4 seconds. Give me the answer now. Between 2 seconds and 4 seconds. How much? Raise your hand. Now it's easy. Already ready check. I know my answer. Between 2 seconds and 4 seconds. How much will be the distance traveled? Area between the graph and axis. Yes, here what's your answer? 20 kg. So, 20 meters per second. Sure. 20 meters. Clear or not?
Yes.
Who understood that? પૂછ્યું તમને કાઉન્ટર ક્વેશ્ચન કરું જય why 20 તો કેમ હાથ ઊંચો કર્યો તો હા પરિવાર સમજાવો why 20 are you daydreaming? Pay attention over here. Dia why 20? Niyati why 20? Happen to be the all is pretty. Out of A1 A2 A3, which area are we finding? A2 and A3 both. A2, sure. We are only finding A2, yes or no?
Yes.
Clear, because A2 is between 2 and 4. So A2 we have already found, right? There's nothing new to find. Answer is 20 meters. Clear or not?
Yes.
આટલી જ વાર લાગે છે જો આમાં આટલી વધારે વાર હું તમારા માટે લગાડું છું બાકી હીરે આન્સર ક્યાં આપી દો Do you get what I'm saying? હવે પછી તમે એમ કહેશો કે સમજાતું નથી then this is entirely up to you. આટલી નાની વાતમાં હું આટલો ટાઈમ આપી શકું છું. I could have finished it in a second. Yes or no?
Yes.
And give you 20 પૂરું થઈ ગયું બધા સમજાઈ ગયું એમાં કઈ નવું તો છે ને pay attention here જય બીજા બોલે એ સાંભળવાનું હું બોલું તો ખાસ સાંભળવાનું okay and this is not for him only for everybody sit down everyone fine so that's about this question let's go over to the next thing I don't know whether time will permit I don't think it will permit you can close your book now come on જોઈએ આપણે કઈ પૂછાય છે અત્યારે turn off the camera no problem okay